All right, welcome back, everybody. In this video, we will be discussing the Celtics Raptors series. Right now, the series is at 3-2 to the Celtics. Obviously, Celtics taking a commanding 2-0 lead to start out the series, and then an amazing shot by OG Anunoby to give the Raptors their first win in the series, and then taking Game 4, and now Celtics absolutely destroying the Raptors in Game 5, and now taking a 3-2 lead. Rourke, is this a series that can go 7 games?
As much as I want to say yes, I don't think it is. I think you're going to see tonight. I think the Celtics are going to put the Raptors away. As much as I want the Raptors to win, I think the Celtics have just been by far, it's not even close to me, the better team in the series. That, like you said, Toronto was able to sneak off 2 games. That Game 3 was a great shot by OG to really give some life to the Raptors because it looked like the Celtics from there. Yeah, the Celtics have been playing very, very well. They got a great unit on their team, some great players that all fit very well. Brad Stevens able to really know how to get everyone involved, especially right now without Gordon Hayward. They are very, very, very good. And it looked like I thought it could be a sweep this series, especially after the 2-0. It looked like in Game 3, I remember Kemba Walker making a great play and pass to Daniel Tice to dunk it with about half a second left. And it looked like, okay, 3-0, Celtics, here we go. And then OG with a great kind of put-up shot. I don't want to say he was just kind of lucky because obviously he calculated it and made the game winner, but he didn't have enough time to set up and really get his form and really shoot the ball. So he kind of chucked it up there. Like I said, he calculated it. Great shot, great game winner, earned it. Really, really good for the young guy. I love that he did that for him and for his career. But the Raptors, and they were able to have a solid Game 4. They had got some great contributions from Van Fleet, Lowry. Everyone played really, really well for the Raptors in Game 4. But the Celtics kind of had an off night shooting. And you saw in Game 5, the Celtics came out blazing. It didn't even look close. It looked like 2 different teams, like in 2 different leagues. So you can see the first half score of the last game in that Game 5 was 62-35 at halftime. The Boston came out blazing, and they were able to really get contributions from everyone on the team. And this is with Gordon Hayward still out. Kemba Walker playing some great basketball, kind of felt like was hiding throughout most of the season compared to his play in Charlotte, but really just trying to get accustomed to a new team and new players and fit in. But now is showing why he is that superstar that they brought, that they dealt Kyrie away and now have. But show that really, I don't know, Kemba he's small, but he's so quick and he can get his own shot every single time. And now we're seeing him be able to create for other people. He never had help in Charlotte, but now he has help, and now you see him able to create for other people. I do think, yeah.
Absolutely. And you alluded to his help in Charlotte. The closest thing he ever had was Al Jefferson. And if you're a newer NBA fan, you're like, who's that? Do some research. Great post player. Obviously not very much usable in this NBA anymore, with the lack of floor spacing that he would provide. But and I think you are seeing the emergence of 2 guys, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, who are really starting to come into their own, which is helping Kemba not have to do as much as he did in Charlotte, right? And we're seeing the benefits of that right now. I think Jaylen had this crazy dunk, like outside the restricted area, just like a step into it and just monster jam, the other night. And obviously Jayson Tatum is starting to become a very productive superstar caliber player. And you're starting to see glimpses of it. And I think we've seen glimpses a couple years ago. Now we're starting to see a lot of glimpses. All right, which is a great thing to have.
Yeah, definitely making that all-star caliber play more consistent, Jayson Tatum. I've always been more of the fan of Jaylen Brown. We've had these conversations many a times. I've been taking the underrated Jaylen Brown. I think is almost better than Jayson Tatum. Now Jayson Tatum's really taken that leap and being an all-star and showing with his clutch shot making. Very, very polished as a player for how young he is, and his mechanics. Looks very, very good out there and very, very technically sound, able to score the basketball all sorts of ways, looking like Kobe, looking like a bunch of other playmakers out there. I don't know, Jayson Tatum, he looks very like a very, very good basketball player. But Jaylen Brown, freakishly athletic. And like I said, when they get Gordon Hayward back, Gordon Hayward is another great basketball player, especially for the Boston system, really knows how to get everyone involved and knows how to play in that kind of a system and doesn't take bad shots. So really keeps a good flow for the Celtics. So if they can get Gordon Hayward back after this series for the conference finals, theoretically against the Heat, I think that will be a great series. My money is personally on the Heat, even though I think the Celtics making some real noise this year. This will be really good for if they're able to get to the finals. That would be great for the Celtics, obviously. But even if they don't, I think this will be a good win for them to just go against some top talent with Miami in the conference finals. And if they lose, they can take that into next year because they have this really strong young core, same as Miami, but they have the strong young core that you can tell they're going to be around for the next few years, and Celtics are going to be very, very relevant in the NBA, especially with Brad Stevens as their coach. But I do think that, unfortunately, for the reigning champs, defending champs Toronto, that Celtics are going to deal that final blow today. But hopefully it's a good game. I don't think Kyle Lowry is going to back down. I do think that Pascal Siakam hasn't played too well since the bubble has returned. He may have a solid, good game in him. He should be, the commanding, solid best player on the Raptors if they really want to be good, especially going forward. He's got to take over that role. And so hopefully we'll see some consistent play tonight from him. But I think the firepower from the Celtics is just going to be too much.
I think you're right. I do think the Celtics close it out tonight. Now, obviously, I do want to just touch on it before we kind of finish up this series. Is just how impressive it is that the Raptors are where they are without Kawhi Leonard. Right, losing their best player, arguably the entire year, and what would have been this year. Right now, a lot of that goes on to Pascal Siakam's shoulders for this year. But the fact that they didn't win, they didn't like have a huge drop off in wins. And they stayed the course. They were a top team in the East when probably many analysts probably wouldn't have given them that spot. Maybe the 8th seed, maybe they missed the playoffs, but they've got a lot of talent, a lot of guys who have been there a while. Marc Gasol, Pascal Siakam is a young emerging superstar. Kyle Lowry as well, and obviously OG Anunoby having a year to learn from Kawhi Leonard, and really the depth they've had, as well as guys like Terrence Davis emerging off the bench, and Norman Powell as well, having huge years to really make it a collective workload for every member on the Raptors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real quick, highlighting the Raptors. They did have a great season. I think this kind of alludes more to Kawhi Leonard didn't impact the team as much people thought. When he was with Toronto for the 1 year, obviously a great player, they were 17-5 during the regular season without him. And I believe they were 58-24 at the end of that year with Kawhi. And then you look at their season this year, and I think were they 53-19, so had a better percentage record. Obviously, didn't get to play the full 82 games, but without Kawhi Leonard, they have a better percentage record. They're still number 2 in the East, and they were 17-5 without Kawhi last year. So you can tell that Toronto just has a good unit built around them, similar to the Celtics. A lot of young talent coming together. They got a veteran with Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol and Ibaka, who unfortunately I think Ibaka, they're going to lose him this offseason. But Ibaka, really, really good for him coming off the bench, shooting the ball terrifically well for the Raptors. And obviously Fred VanVleet taking that emergence of being a star this year after getting some good experience and having a great finals last year. Now we see Fred VanVleet taking that jump, and the Raptors are going to be very relevant even without Kawhi for the next few years to come. But I don't think that they have enough firepower to combat the Celtics tonight.